All right, guys, well, we've got here a couple of Glock models we wanted to highlight. Pretty familiar for those of you who know the Glock lineup. What you see looks like a fairly traditional 26 and 27, 9mm 40 caliber. One big difference you'll probably notice though, they stand a little taller. So these are now known as a 26X and a 27X. We'll give you a little more details on why that is in a second. First, we'll touch on the 26 here. That's mostly factory Gen 4 upper with one cool little modification. You probably noticed that pop of color there. That's a true precision aftermarket gold barrel. Gives it nice contrast and just a cool look to it. Like I said, you'll notice it's standing taller, so we're going to touch on that in a minute with that Glock 26X frame. Next to it, its big brother, you got the 27, also X model. Mostly factory upper of a Gen 3 with one pretty cool little mod there we'll touch on in a second as well. Probably noticed at the end of the barrel looks a little different, so we'll touch on why that is here in just a second. All right, let's close these up, kind of get a quick glance at those sitting tall like that. So let's take a second, talk a little bit more about this 27X. So here's what we're dealing with. If you're like us, you love the concept, love the idea of having that 40 caliber option for a small concealed carry. But one of the biggest challenges with this model was trying to shoot that type of caliber with the infamous baby Glock frame that comes from Glock factory. Cool concept, makes it extremely concealable. The biggest challenge you can probably already see is even with just average size hands, a lot of real estate lacking down here at the bottom, and trying to shoot that type of caliber makes that a challenge to control. Obviously comfortable, but there's your issue. So a lot of people, if you're like us, would utilize longer mag with the mag adapter to try to give it some more surface area to control. But there's a cool option now that we want to try to solve that issue. Glock store has released a new frame that they're calling the 26 or 27X. What that really is, as you can see, is the bigger frame. If you're familiar with Glock models, this is more like a Glock 19 sized footprint. And already you can see what's cool about it is all this extra real estate here. So if you like Glock 19s, this is gonna feel very familiar to you. It's got a good feel, it's got a good look. And already you can see it provides what you want, which is that stronger base for controlling this caliber. So then the other mod that we're hoping is going to also help make this a little bit easier to control. Let's go back to this C-cut. You'll see the window cuts in the slide as well as the porting in the barrel. The idea behind that is to help cut down on that muzzle flip. 40 cal in this size, a subcompact, is just notorious for having a lot of that flip. And this is hopefully going to help cut that down and make it a bit more manageable for both accuracy and just for enjoyment of shooting that particular caliber. So if you're like us, you love the 27 model, but unfortunately, because of the old frame, it ended up getting relegated to your safe and just kind of taken out of your rotation. The hope is with the 27X frame, this lets you put it back into rotation. That's what we're hoping for. So we can't wait to try it out, get it on the range, see if the bigger frame as well as the C-cut and the porting helps to make this a more enjoyable gun to be able to shoot. And that's the hope, and that's what we're going to test out and see once we get it on the range.